Donald Trump's absolutely going to love this poll where they ask voters, what's the first word that comes to mind when you think of both campaigns for Vice President Kamala Harris? It was energetic. When it was Donald Trump, the word was old. Donald Trump, you're also going to love this poll, which showed that if you were to drop out and it were to be a hypothetical race of Vice President Kamala Harris versus J.D. Vance, she would be winning 57% to 39%. J.D. Vance is quite literally the most unpopular running mate in the history of presidential politics. So what is Donald Trump doing? AI post after AI post. You remember about 6 months ago or so, we said, watch out, Donald Trump is going to use AI over and over again. You may have seen that that the MAGAs were using these AI images of like AI black voters who had like 3 hands and like red hats and just obviously was AI. And then you had Donald Trump recently claim that the Swifties endorsed him, but he used AI Swifties and an AI image of Taylor Swift, which I don't think you get more pathetic than that. Well, here he is again, making post after post of these AI images like this one right here. It says, Kamala Harris pledged free health care for illegals. They're coming to collect, with an AI image. Hey, Donald Trump, you pledged a healthcare plan for the American people that you said was big and beautiful and was going to be better than the Affordable Care Act, which you tried to repeal, but for the late, great Senator John McCain preventing you from repealing the Affordable Care Act, that would have been gone. Where was your plan? Instead, you said, it's coming in 2 weeks. Just give me 2 more weeks. I'm going to come out with my plan. And then when you said that you were unveiling your plan, you literally put a binder together of white pieces of paper that were blank with nothing on them. Same thing with your infrastructure plan. No infrastructure plan. You said 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. It actually was President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris who expanded the Affordable Care Act, who lowered prescription drug prices, who lowered the price of insulin, who extended healthcare coverage to veterans as well, who allowed the government to negotiate with prescription drug manufacturers and pharmaceutical companies to lower the prices in Medicare. These are real things that have saved people's lives. So while you're posting AI images, I'm focused on how people's lives have actually been impacted. And I know you and your corporate media aider and abettors want to go and put out all of this disinformation and both sidesism, but I always like to ask myself basic questions. For example, like when it comes to the economy, where's your 401k today? Where was your toilet paper under Donald Trump? And all Donald Trump has is fear. So he does AI images like this. No one is safe with Kamala's open border. You killed the border deal. There was a bipartisan border deal whose lead negotiator was the Republican senator from Oklahoma, James Lankford, which would have been great for the border. But you said you want chaos at the border so you could run on people's stories and exploit people's stories like you did with Ruby Garcia, where you pretended that you spoke with the family of Ruby Garcia. She was murdered by an individual who she had an association with, who was not here legally. And then you lied and said, oh, I spoke to the family, and the family never spoke to you. The same way you want your photo ops at Arlington Cemetery while you call our military veterans suckers and losers, while you say the Medal of Freedom that you give to donors is better than the Medal of Honor because people who get the Medal of Freedom still look good. You call your military generals idiots and stupid because they call you out for calling veterans suckers and losers. Remember what happened with Ruby Garcia? Here, play this clip.
They said she had just this most contagious laughter, and when she walked into a room, she lit up that room. And I've heard that from so many people. I spoke to some of her family.
Kind of shocking seeing that he had said that he had spoke with us and, saying, misinforming people. Live TV. Shocking. I kind of stopped watching it. I only seen up to that. After I heard, a couple of misinformation that he has said, I kind of just stopped watching.
More AI images being posted by Donald Trump like this. Meet your new neighbors if Kamala wins. I don't even know what you're showing me right here, but I do know that you put your name over the American flag. I remember what the insurrection looked like. I don't even know where this image is taken, but I remember what January 6th looked like while you were there in a tent with Kimberly Guilfoyle dancing and making a mockery of our democracy. I recall when you say you're going to be a dictator on day one. By the way, Donald Trump makes email after email, and as he's getting more desperate, you have all emails like this. As I've said, his emails to his supporters on his listserv have all of the traits of a cult. It is like this love bombing. I love you. Do you love me? I love you so much. I'm always going to be there for you. And then they're coming after me. They're trying to hurt me. Do you still love me? I need your help. And then the fear. We need to go after them. Hell is breaking loose. Those are the tactics of cult leaders. You know that. So take a look at how he deploys them there. Every day, these are the types of emails that he's sending, like this one right here at 7:41 a.m. I'm counting on you. I also just want to say, I will always love you. This is the Trump email. I also just want to say, I will always love you. So thank you for your support. It really means the world to me. God bless. Give me $10. Or this one right here. I'm waiting to hear from you, Ben. From the bottom of my heart, I just got to say two things I need to say to you, Ben. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for endlessly supporting both me and our America First movement. I truly mean it when I say that I will always love you and I will always appreciate you. Can you please do me a huge favor and respond to my official MAGA poll, which brings you to a place where you guessed it, donate money. Or how about this one? Do you like coffee? And it says, fear not, Ben. I need you to know one thing. I love you. Fear not. Claim your mug, which you have to pay $100 or $1,000 for a mug. Or how about this one right here? It's less than 1 week until the first ballots are cast, but Ben, we've got a huge problem. Comrade Kamala just weaponized the DOJ again to indict me and interfere in this election. She's already given her marching orders to the fake news media to declare MAGA dead. And what better way to prove her wrong than filling out your official sample ballot? Notice the language here, though. Declare MAGA dead. He uses that language after saying, I love you, you're always there for me. Dead, meaning he's trying to tell his supporters she's going to kill you so he could inspire violence. That's what is happening right here. And then here's this email. In 24 hours, all hell breaks loose. In 24 hours, all hell breaks loose. My end of month fundraising deadline is tomorrow. But if everyone reading this gives just $9, we'll outraise Kamala. Please, Ben, I'm counting on you. All hell breaks loose. That's the language that he's using. All hell breaks loose. I want you to take a look right here. Donald Trump then gave this bizarre interview with the Moms of Liberty organization right after they met with Project 2025. Just take a look at the weird, creepy things he was saying about Ivanka. Play this clip.
Like, Ivanka was she could have done anything. Great student, great, beautiful girl, beautiful everything. She was a perfect person, worked hard. She gave up. Do you remember the Ivanka line and all?
I loved those shoes. Please tell your daughter. She made great shoes.
She was making so much money with that thing. I was saying, what the hell is going on? It was so hot.
And then when he was asked, like, okay, what are you going to do as president? He gave this response. Play this clip.
And so I just ask you, there's been an explosion in the number of children who identify as transgender. And children are being taught that they were born in the wrong body. It's an incredibly abusive message to send. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you might be able to do as president.
Well, you can do everything. President has such power. It does. It has such power.
But he then gave a speech earlier that day in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and say women love him. Here, play this clip.
Somebody said women don't like Donald Trump. I said, I think that's wrong. I think they love me. I love them.
And by the way, have you seen this new unearthed video of J.D. Vance attacking women who can't have kids? It speaks for itself, but this is a new video events just unearthed. We're showing you here on the MeidasTouch Network. Play the clip.
And I wouldn't say that I have fully developed views on this, but to me, what it is sort of a value system to replace the fact that they're all fundamentally atheist or agnostic. They have no real value system. Their only value system is achieve in a very conventional way. And so the idea that somehow they're pursuing racial or gender equity is like the value system that gives their life meaning. Well, of course, they all find that that value system leads to misery, leads to unhappiness. And so I think that what happens is like whenever you really pursue something, right? Like let's say a doctor gives you a medicine to cure a disease and it doesn't work, right? The patient gets worse. Well, you can conclude one of two things. Either the medicine isn't working or the patient was so sick that what they need is even more of the medicine that you originally prescribed. And I think the gender inequity stuff is like, we need more of the medicine. Okay, clearly this value set has made me a miserable person who can't have kids because I already, passed the biological period when it was possible. And I live in a 1,200 square foot apartment in New York and I pay $5,000 a month for it. But I'm really better than these other people. What I'm going to do is project my like racial and gender sensitivities on the rest of them. And like the reason that our society is broken is because these people don't think the exact way that I think. Even though the way that I think has made me a miserable person, I just need to make more people think like that. So we're going to teach this in our schools, in our universities, even in our elementary schools, because once everybody agrees with me, then everything will finally come full circle. And we'll have a happy, healthy society.
So after showing you all of that, I also want to show you this. As Carl Quintanilla posted, removing the effects of the pandemic from the data, the American economy right now is far superior under the current administration than the preceding one. This can be seen in employment, consumer net worth, real GDP per capita, and corporate profits. And of course, the stock market right now is up about 50 to 55% now than it was when Donald Trump was disgracing the office. The Trump media stock is down significantly, and Devin Nunes, the CFO, the general counsel, and other insiders at Trump Media are starting to dump their stock. Could you imagine if our economy looked like the Trump media stock? It doesn't, though. Instead, you have Goldman Sachs issuing reports like this. We boosted our third quarter GDP tracking estimate by 0.2 points, 2.7% quarter over quarter annualized. Our GDP is exceeding the predictions that existed back in 2019, even before the pandemic. And the fact that price stability has been reestablished without causing a recession is something that should be celebrated, a historic achievement, and one we should seek to understand in depth to provide responses to future price shocks. It was handled magnificently. So there you have it. Hit subscribe. I want to get to 3 million subscribers. We were there already. I'm just used to saying that. I want to get to 4 million subscribers thanks to your support. Have a wonderful day.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.